Our next speaker is June Luke. June Luce, yeah, you can correct me, sorry. And he will be speaking on the topic of transformative power of corporate diplomacy and soft power application, right? So Jean has over 2 decades of experience advising top government officials, multinational CEOs, financial experts, analysts, and fund managers on international relations and strategic alliances. Jean-Luc Meier is a renowned authority in corporate diplomacy as well. As founder and managing partner of SRC, Relations Counselling, headquartered in Zurich, Switzerland, he has been a pioneer in this field since 2002. Before his entrepreneurial journey, Mr. Meier had held strategic roles in major banks in Switzerland, entrepreneurial journey as well. Mr. Meier has held strategic roles in major banks in Switzerland and Germany, including a pivotal role in establishing the contact office of the Swiss banks across the world. He's also served as corporate ambassador for one of the world's largest economies, successfully negotiating high-tech sector corporations with governments and organizations across Europe and Asia. He's also sits on the boards of TGSV, Tri Global Strategic Ventures, New York, Naldra Advisory Services, Berlin, and many more. He's been showcasing his extensive network and industry experience to us by this. His commitment to global issues is further demonstrated through his position on the commitment of global issues, or commitment of board of directors of the World Federation of United Nations, WFUNA, Friends, from 2014 to 2022. He's also dedicated to international relations, but actively engaged in local politics, serving as a local council member in his community. Fluent in German, French, and English, his linguistic skills enable effective communication with diverse stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Jean Luce. And Jean, the stage is all yours now.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure you can hear me. Yes.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. It's, yes, my name is actually the first part, Jean-Luc, is French, as my mother was French, and the second part is German, Meier, as my father was a Swiss German national. It's really an honor for me to be here. I am really impressed by all the wonderful presentations I saw, and it was especially interesting in the presentation I just saw about scandal diplomacy. I go in another direction, and I hope and I work on the fact that corporations should use more diplomacy, and actually I hope they go in another way, not too much towards scandals. However, as we know, especially in the financial industry, scandals are very common. So I can open my presentation. Yes. So today, I'm very proud we dive into the complex world of corporate diplomacy, where strategy meets diplomacy, relationships wield power and culture, communication and crisis management are pivotal. By the end of this journey, I hope that you will know about the depth of corporate diplomacy and how it can be harnessed for positive transformation within corporations and organizations. My agenda today is understanding corporate diplomacy and soft power, effective relationships, which is not really, it's corporate diplomacy and soft power, a unified approach. We'll speak about effective relations and cultural sensitivity, crisis management. However, we will not go into all the details, and applications in enhancing roles and performance. I will show you some successful corporate diplomacy strategies from multinational corporations, and at the end, we have the conclusion. I just start with corporate diplomacy. In the ever-evolving landscape of business, corporate diplomacy has emerged as a critical concept. In essence, it's clear diplomacy. However, with our world more interconnected than ever, corporate diplomacy has transcended its traditional boundaries to become the vehicle for long-term relations and success. A few decades ago, businesses faced challenges as well, but no doubt today companies grapple with a multitude of complexities. Yet, remarkably, corporate diplomacy hasn't yet found its way into the core strategies of many organizations, particularly at the C-management level. Some may argue that the primary focus should rightfully remain on selling their products or services, as it ultimately determines a company's growth or its unfortunate decline in bankruptcy. But here's the shift in perspective. Corporate diplomacy isn't about the product. It encompasses the entirety of a company. It's about representing the vision, the future plans, and the need for the right stakeholders. It's akin to our government's ministers of foreign affairs, but on a corporate level. And the soft power, another invaluable tool that supports diplomatic efforts. Many managers may be somewhat familiar with soft power, but often because they view it as a form of marketing and public relations. While this isn't entirely wrong, soft power transcends these boundaries. What's intriguing is that organizations, and sometimes even governments, unwittingly employ soft power actions without full awareness. Soft power, though a potent vehicle, is frequently successful but used without a deliberate strategy. Now, imagine the possibilities when we employ soft power with a clear and well-defined strategy. Corporate diplomacy is not only about engaging in relations casually. It demands a strategic approach. Just as relations between nations don't happen just like that, neither do corporate relationships. It requires a systematic and deliberate effort. At its core, corporate diplomacy borrows diplomatic principles and applies them to the world of business. These principles include fostering understanding, building trust, and seeking mutually beneficial outcomes. When it comes to soft power, it's essential to clarify that it's not merely a marketing vehicle or empty rhetoric. It goes beyond what you say. It's about what you do. It's about authentically embodying values, culture, and ethics that resonate with your stakeholders. Soft power isn't just a message to convey, it's a set of actions to demonstrate. It's about consistent behaviors that align with your organization's values and beliefs. Corporate diplomacy focuses on nurturing relationships and managing stakeholders strategically. It acknowledges that relationships are a valuable resource and their cultivation should align with organizational objectives. In a rapidly changing global landscape, corporate diplomacy exhibits adaptability and agility. Just as diplomats navigate evolving geopolitical scenarios, corporate diplomats navigate evolving business environments. Soft power relies on attraction and persuasion rather than force or coercion. It emphasizes the culture, values, and ethics are not just talking points, but integral components of soft power. They shape the character and reputation of an organization, influencing how it's perceived by others. The parallel with traditional diplomacy is striking. Just as diplomats foster relations between nations, corporate diplomats cultivate relations in the business world. Both corporate diplomacy and soft power align with the objective of persuasion and influence. They recognize that true influence isn't achieved through force, but through the power of attraction, trust, and shared values. In the modern interconnected world, businesses are increasingly adopting these concepts. They understand that relationships, reputation, and influence are not just buzzwords, but critical drivers of success in the corporate arena. Corporate diplomacy, like traditional diplomacy, is built on a foundation of key components that are fundamental to its success in the business world. These components serve as the pillars on which effective corporate diplomacy stands. At its core, corporate diplomacy is about forging and nurturing relationships with a diverse array of stakeholders. These stakeholders can include clients, partners, suppliers, government bodies, but also the community at large. The art of building strong and enduring relationships is not only about what a company can gain, but also about the mutual benefits and trust that can be established over time. As mentioned before, relationships don't just happen like that. They need a clear strategy to ensure that you have a fruitful relationship with a stakeholder that is on your side, who understands who you are and what plans you have. Take the time to find these stakeholders. Make a clear strategic approach. And in today's information-rich age, a company's reputation is one of its most valuable assets. Corporate diplomacy places a premium on safeguarding and enhancing a company's reputation. It involves not only managing crises effectively, but also proactively cultivating a positive image through ethical practices, responsible corporate citizenship, and transparent communication. Your reputation is not just what you say, but what you consistently do. Effective communications lies at the heart of corporate diplomacy. It's not just about conveying messages, but also about listening actively, understanding different perspectives, and finding common ground. Successful negotiation is an art, and it's an essential skill in resolving disputes, sealing deals, and building alliances. It's about striking a balance between assertiveness and empathy, ensuring that all parties involved feel heard and valued. These three components are the cornerstones of corporate diplomacy, forming a cohesive framework that allows businesses to navigate the complex web of relationships and challenges in the modern corporate environment. Together, they empower organizations to build trust, foster collaboration, and achieve their strategic goals. So why do they matter? In a world that is more interconnected than ever before, the relevance of corporate diplomacy and soft power cannot be overstated. They are not just concepts, they are essential tools for navigating the intricate and dynamic landscape of the globalized business environment. It's about effective relationships in business. And here's why they matter. In an age where geographical boundaries are increasingly blurred, businesses are no longer confined to local or even national markets. They operate on a global stage, engaging with diverse cultures, regulations, and stakeholders. Both vehicles, corporate diplomacy and soft power, offer a framework for businesses to thrive in this complex ecosystem. They'll help bridge cultural divides, navigate international regulations, and adapt to varying market conditions. Trust is the currency of business. Corporate diplomacy and soft power are instrumental in building and maintaining trust with stakeholders, including customers, partners, employees, and the wider community. Trust is not just a warm and fuzzy concept, it directly impacts a company's bottom line. Trustworthy companies are more likely to attract loyal customers, retain top talent, and secure long-term partnerships. A company's reputation is an intangible but immensely valuable asset. Corporate diplomacy and soft power provide the tools and strategies to proactively manage and safeguard its reputation. A positive reputation can be a shield in times of crisis and a catalyst for growth in times of opportunity. Ultimately, the goal of any business is success, and that success is multifaceted. It's not just about profits, it's about sustainability, ethical practices, and leaving a positive impact on society. Corporate diplomacy and soft power are enablers of a holistic success. They align businesses with a broader vision, guide them in ethical decision-making, and empower them to create lasting value. In the dynamic landscape of global influence and reputation management, corporate diplomacy and soft power converge to form a powerful and unified approach. These two pillars are not distinct entities. They are interconnected and mutually reinforcing. Excuse me? No, it's
sorry, continue. Don't worry. It must have been a
okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. Sorry
no
about
problem
that.
at all. No problem. In a world where perception shapes reality, corporate and soft power come together as a unified front. Corporate diplomacy is the practice of building and managing relationships to achieve strategic objectives, while soft power is the art of influencing others through attraction and persuasion. Think of them as the two sides of the same coin. Corporate diplomacy embodies the how, the strategies, and practices that foster relationships and trust. Soft power represents the why, the ability to attract and influence by projecting a positive image and value. These approaches complement each other, seamlessly. Corporate diplomacy provides the groundwork, fostering relationships and managing perceptions. Soft power amplifies the message, making an organization image magnetic and appealing. Now, consider corporate diplomacy as the vehicle and soft power as the fuel that propels it forward. Together, they created a dynamic force for global influence. To realize the full potential of this collaboration, organizations must understand the synergy between corporate diplomacy and soft power. It's a partnership that can transform not just reputations, but entire narratives. Imagine an organization that not only diplomatically manages relationships, but also radiates a magnetic aura, drawing stakeholders, customers, and partners closer. This is the transformative power of a unified approach. In today's interconnected global business landscape, forging strong relationships while demonstrating cultural sensitivity is at the heart of success. And actually, these are the pillars of corporate diplomacy and soft power. Effective relationship building transcends boundaries. It's about creating connections that extend beyond geographical and cultural differences. By reaching out, listening, and showing a genuine interest in diverse perspectives, you lay the groundwork for fruitful collaborations. Cultural sensitivity is more than just a courtesy, it's a strategic advantage. It involves recognizing and respecting the nuances of various cultures, from communication styles to social customs. In a global marketplace, this sensitivity is a catalyst for trust, cooperation, and mutual understanding. As businesses operate in a melting pot of cultures, understanding cultural differences becomes crucial. Yet, it's equally essential to seek common ground. This commonality is the bridge that brings diverse stakeholders together, fostering meaningful relationships that drive progress. The term cultural intelligence, CQ, is more than just a buzzword. It's a key skill that enables professionals to navigate and thrive in diverse cultural setting. It involves empathy, adaptability, and a genuine curiosity about the customs and values of others. Remember, in the realm of corporate diplomacy and soft power, effective relationships and cultural sensitivity are not optional extras. They are the cornerstones of excellence that enable organizations to create a global network of trust, collaboration, and shared goals. We have to focus on four important points in crisis management strategies. However, here I want to focus especially on the collaboration between NGOs and corporations. Amid the intricate dance of crisis management, a transformative shift has occurred. In the past, NGOs and corporations were often seen as adversaries with divergent interests. However, the evolving landscape showcases a convergence of interests. Collaborative efforts between NGOs and corporations offer a holistic approach to crisis management, leveraging diverse perspectives and resources. This convergence is driven by the recognition that many global challenges demand collective action. This signifies a transformative force in crisis response. It brings unique strength and a unified resolve to create a sustainable and equitable future. It demonstrates the evolving landscape of corporate diplomacy where partnerships drive meaningful impact. In the corporate diplomacy landscape, crises can emerge unexpectedly, as we all know, posing a threat to an organization's reputation and stability. Proactive crisis prevention is not just wise, it's a strategic imperative. Cultural sensitivity extends to crisis readiness. Understanding the cultural nuances of diverse stakeholders can significantly impact crisis management. Now I will go to the next point. Understanding crisis preparedness. Oh, I'm sorry, I just talked about these points. Crisis communication. It is crisis communication. Effective crisis management hinges on communication. In our interconnected world, crises rarely occur with the confines of a single culture. Cultural diversity adds complexity to crisis response, emphasizing the need for cultural sensitivity in safeguarding reputation and trust. Consider a crisis affecting a multinational organization. How cultural factors shape how the crisis is perceived and reacted to in different regions. In a cross-border financial scandal, cultural sensitivity is pivotal in preserving trust. An empathetic, culturally informed response helps maintain credibility and demonstrate commitment to stakeholders' concerns. In cases like a global company facing an environmental crisis, culturally informed crisis communication can mitigate reputation risks and aid in rebuilding trust. A very interesting case study is Novo Nordisk. Novo Nordisk collaborated with opponents, partnering with the Danish Nature Conservation Society to create biotechnology teaching materials, emphasizing the value of informed citizens. They also worked with the World Wildlife Fund. In response to concerns about healthcare, Novo Nordisk formed an advisory board led by the CEO to address related topics transparently, acknowledging more questions than answers that they actually have. Novo Nordisk prioritized transparent communication on genetically modified microorganisms to build trust and clarity among the public. But Novo Nordisk openly communicated their profit-driven goals, emphasizing how profitability supported research benefiting society. This case illustrates how corporate diplomacy fosters trust, strengthens reputations, and diffuses crisis, as exemplified by Novo Nordisk's response to a challenging situation. I will go here to the next point. In the dynamic business landscape, the ability to adapt, innovate, and excel is paramount. This chapter explores the practical applications of corporate diplomacy and soft power in elevating roles and enhancing performance. These strategies are more than theory. They are tools empowering us to navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and drive success. In the evolving landscape of corporate diplomacy and corporate leadership, effective leaders now extend their influence beyond traditional boundaries. Corporate diplomacy empowers leaders to excel in our interconnected world. Leadership isn't just about authority, it's about influence and the ability to navigate complex challenges. Corporate diplomacy equips leaders with the skill to build bridges, foster collaboration, and gain trust from diverse stakeholders. Think of leadership as a diplomatic mission where listening, negotiation, and finding common ground are essential for achieving organizational goals. In today's complex business environment, promoting collaboration across departments is vital. Corporate diplomacy plays a pivotal role in creating a harmonious cross-functional ecosystem. Imagine a corporate culture where departments work seamlessly together, communication flows effortlessly, and teams collaborate effectively. Corporate diplomacy bridges gaps, empowering professionals to navigate diverse perspectives and priorities that often hinder teamwork. And also, corporate diplomacy encourages transparency, open communication, and a shared sense of purpose. It's the language of collaboration, facilitating cross-functional initiatives. In our interconnected age, stakeholders are active participants in an organization's journey. Corporate diplomacy transforms stakeholder engagement, enhancing satisfaction and organizational performance. Corporate diplomacy equips organizations to engage with diverse stakeholders effectively, turning them into active contributors to the organization's success. It is the compass guiding organizations in understanding and meeting the expectations of the diverse stakeholder base. In times of crisis, decisions can shape an organization's future. Corporate diplomacy isn't confined to boardrooms. It's a guiding light in critical decision making, especially during crisis. Corporate diplomacy fosters a decision-making environment guided by diplomacy principles, especially in times of crisis. It supports crisis response, ensuring that actions align with long-term goals and organizational values. A very interesting and important case that shows how NGOs and corporations work together is the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC. The Marine Stewardship Council exemplifies the fusion of corporate diplomacy and soft power in a world where environmental conservation meets responsible business. Founded in 1997 by Unilever and WWF, the MSC sought to address overfishing and environmental degradation in the seafood industry through diplomacy. Unilever aimed for market protection and customer support for sustainability, while WWF sought to conserve marine ecosystems. These contrasting objectives harmonized under a shared purpose: seafood industry sustainability. Despite initial skepticism, MSC proactive approach set a precedent for industry-wide change by leveraging creativity and action over inaction. Corporate diplomacy guided MSC through the intricate landscape of fisheries management, emphasizing collaboration over confrontation. MSC's soft power lay in its certification program, creating an attractive symbol of sustainability trusted worldwide. Through diplomacy and soft power, MSC expanded its global influence by uniting stakeholders towards sustainable fisheries. So this demonstrates that diplomacy and soft power reshape industries, can preserve ecosystem, and inspire global change, despite initial skepticism and challenges. Another important case study is Shell. In an evolving energy landscape, Shell exemplifies the potential of corporate diplomacy in achieving sustainability. The company's commitment isn't just talk, it's a purpose-driven vision. Shell's sustainability journey adheres to the principle of sustainability being essential and valuable, recognizing the intricate balance of business, environmental, and social aspects. Shell's journey isn't solitary, it's a collaborative vision with stakeholders and society, a testament to the power of diplomacy, collaboration, and shared values. This path to sustainability is founded on a strategic diplomacy, emphasizing the necessity to navigate complexities, connect with stakeholders, and drive transformative action. It exemplifies how corporate diplomacy fosters a sustainable and equitable future while balancing business interests. Ladies and gentlemen, as we near the end of our journey exploring the transformative power of corporate diplomacy and soft power application, I'd like to recap the key takeaways from the presentation today. We've seen that diplomacy and soft power are not just concepts, but transformative forces that can reshape businesses and industries. Effective relationships lie at the heart of corporate diplomacy, enabling organizations to navigate complex challenges and seize opportunities. Soft power amplifies our global influence, enabling us to engage, inspire, and lead on a global stage. We've explored a range of practical areas that enhance our commitment to sustainability, from innovation and supply chain sustainability to employee engagement and community partnerships. And together, we've emphasized that sustainability isn't just a goal, it's a shared journey toward a brighter, more sustainable future. Today, we've unlocked the door to a new realm of possibilities. We've learned that diplomacy isn't limited to governments. It's a strategic tool for businesses. We've harnessed the soft power of influence and persuasion to drive positive change. We've discovered that by embracing practical areas, we can extend our impact and deepen our commitment to sustainability. In closing, I want to leave you with a thought. The transformative power of corporate diplomacy and soft power is not an abstract concept. It's a reality. Diplomacy, corporate diplomacy, and the concept of soft power are fundamentally straightforward principles. These strategies find frequent applications in the daily lives of many individuals. Nevertheless, a critical distinction lies in the efficacy which becomes evident when they are employed consciously. The act of simply performing an action compared to executing it with a deliberate intent marks a significant divergence.